The Philippine Navy proudly welcomed two new warships, the BRP Miguel Malvar and the BRP Diego Silang. Both ships carry state-of-the-art vertical launch systems, powerful missile cells that symbolize the cutting edge of modern naval warfare. But here's the truth. If war happens tomorrow, these ships will sail into battle with empty launchers. Not a single missile is loaded. The ships are ready, but the missiles are not. A warship without ammunition, does it still count as a deterrent? Stay with me until the end, as we uncover the story behind these powerful yet unarmed frigates, the challenges of procurement, and what this means for the Philippines' fight to secure the West Philippine Sea. Before we continue our discussion, don't forget to like button, subscribe, and the notification bell button from Pinoy Guard. Welcome back to Pinoy Guard. In recent months, the Philippine Navy commissioned two modern warships, the BRP Miguel Malvar and the BRP Diego Silang. Together, they represent a leap forward in capability compared to the older vessels still in the fleet. These ships are equipped with advanced radars, surface-to-air defense systems, and most importantly, vertical launch systems, or VLS. This technology allows a warship to carry and fire multiple types of missiles, surface-to-air, anti-ship, or even land attack weapons, depending on what the mission demands. On paper, these frigates are symbols of strength. They are the kind of warships that can stand proudly alongside the modern navies of Asia. But in reality, there's a catch. The launchers are there, but the missiles are not. So why would the Navy accept two brand new warships that can't actually fire their main weapons? The answer lies in procurement timing. Building a warship is one process. Arming it with advanced missile systems is another. The ships were completed ahead of the missile acquisition program. In short, the Navy received the platforms first, while the ammunition contracts are still being negotiated. This is not unusual. Many navies around the world commission ships with empty missile cells, then gradually fill them once funding and procurement are finalized. But here in the Philippines, where maritime security challenges are urgent and tensions with China are rising, the sight of an unarmed frigate sparks deep concern. Let's step back and look at the bigger picture. The Philippines has been trying to modernize its military for decades. Projects are planned in phases, often spread out due to limited budgets. For the Navy, acquiring modern missile systems is a top priority under the Horizon 3 Modernization program. But funding, bureaucracy, and the complexity of foreign procurement mean that the process takes time. In the case of the BRP Miguel Malvar and BRP Diego Silang, the ships were delivered faster than the missile contracts could be signed. The result: two world-class platforms with empty launchers. It's like buying a brand new fighter jet, but waiting years for the missiles to arrive. Now, let's talk about the strategic risk. The Philippines is facing constant pressure in the West Philippine Sea. Chinese Coast Guard ships, maritime militia, and even PLA Navy warships are present daily. If a confrontation escalates into open conflict, the Navy's frigates will be on the front line. But here's the problem. Without loaded VLS cells, the Miguel Malvar and Diego Silang cannot fire the surface-to-air missiles needed to defend against aircraft or incoming threats. Their deterrence value drops dramatically. Yes, the ships still carry guns, sensors, and other weapons. But the heart of modern naval combat is the missile system. Without it, the Philippines risks being outgunned. Imagine going to a gunfight, carrying a weapon without bullets. And yet, as of today, both BRP Miguel Malvar and BRP Diego Silang have their VLS fitted but not armed. The launchers are there. The electronics are there. The combat management system is ready. But the missiles themselves, the weapons that make the VLS lethal, are not yet on board. The Philippine Navy has long planned to acquire surface-to-air missile systems, with MBDA's VL Mica widely considered the frontrunner. Funding was even identified, around 7.6 billion pesos outside the usual AFP Modernization program, earmarked for frigate missile systems. However, contracts take time, negotiations drag on, and deliveries require coordination with foreign suppliers. So, as we speak, the Navy's most advanced frigates can only simulate missile launches and training. Some might ask, why didn't the Navy just wait until the missiles were ready before accepting the ships? The answer is both practical and political. First, the Navy needs to begin training crews on the new platforms as soon as possible. Even without missiles, there is much to learn: navigation, radar systems, communications, and gunnery. Accepting the ships early gives the Navy time to master the basics. Second, politically, the government wants to show progress in modernization. New ships are a visible symbol of investment in defense. Even if the VLS is empty, the presence of modern frigates boosts morale and signals intent. Finally, procurement rules often separate platform acquisition from weapon acquisition. This means contracts for the ships are signed and completed independently from contracts for the ammunition. So, when will the missiles arrive? Current reports indicate that the Department of National Defense is already working on contracts for surface-to-air missiles and close-in weapon systems ammunition. But these processes take time: approvals, funding releases, and negotiations with suppliers. It's likely that within the next few years, we'll see the BRP Miguel Malvar and BRP Diego Silang conducting live missile firing exercises, just like their counterparts in other navies. But until then, the reality remains: the VLS cells are empty. Despite the frustration, there is a silver lining. First, the Navy is laying the foundation for long-term growth. Having the ships ready means that once the missiles are delivered, integration will be faster. Second, the presence of modern platforms, even unarmed, helps the Navy transition away from its aging fleet. Crews are already training on 21st century systems, preparing the next generation of sailors. Finally, the very fact that the Philippines is buying warships with VLS capability signals ambition. It shows that the Navy is thinking not just of today's challenges, but of a future where it can fight on equal terms with regional powers. So where does that leave us today? The BRP Miguel Malvar and BRP Diego Silang are like swords still waiting for their blades. They are powerful symbols of what the Philippine Navy can become, but also a reminder of how far we still need to go. The ships are here. The weapons will come. The question is, will they arrive in time? In a world where tensions in the West Philippine Sea grow more dangerous by the day, time is not on our side. But for now, the Navy trains, the crews learn, and the nation waits for the day when those empty VLS cells finally roar to life. This is Pinoy Guard. Always watching, always analyzing. The story of the Philippine Navy is still being written, and you won't want to miss what happens next. Pinoy Guard,